So of course, Call of Duty, everyone's favorite pastime, except for baseball, because well, I guess baseball sucks. So welcome back, everyone. Yep. So originally this was supposed to be a massive video covering various COD controversies, but well, it's kind of already been done before, and while you still want to do all of these controversies, I want to talk about them in a few specific ways or videos. So, let's get into my top 6 Call of Duty controversies, starting off with Vanguard. So, what's so controversial about Vanguard? Well, Vanguard has suffered quite a few controversies just from the fact that it exists. Yeah, so this came out when the world was still dealing with the pandemic, and there was a lot of there was a lot of people saying that COD should have skipped 2021. Did Activision listen? No. And so Vanguard came out, and Vanguard was pretty much the exact same game that we got the last 2 years, and so everyone hated it. Not to mention, everything about Vanguard was kind of disappointing from the campaign, the zombies, and multiplayer. I myself, well, I do like the campaign. I can't really say anything nice about the multiplayer or zombies. So Vanguard kind of went down as one of the worst cards in history, but certainly not the most controversial. Because at number 5, I of course have Black Ops 4 having no campaign. Honestly, at this point, Black Ops 4 just feels like a fever dream. Yeah, so this game came out in 2018, and well, it kind of took a part in a particular trend. So in 2017 and 2018, games like Fortnite and PUBG had been released and were pretty popular. And while they still are somewhat popular today, with Fortnite continuously getting updates throughout the year, Call of Duty wanted a slice of that pie, and so Black Ops 4 was out. And of course, well, Black Ops 4 had no campaign. Apparently, a campaign was supposed to happen, but for some reason it didn't. Which could probably be a good or bad thing. Could be a good thing because they could have made Black Ops 3's campaign less stupid, but it could have also made Black Ops 3 campaign more stupid. So, of course, obviously, we don't always get what we want. But Black Ops 4 was out, and, well, you had to pay $60 for a Battle Royale mode that games like Fortnite included as a free-to-play game, and because it wasn't even the only game to do this. In fact, Battlefield 5 had a battle royale mode and a campaign. So one of the worst games ever made somehow beat one of the other worst games ever made, which is sad. So of course, at number 4, So at number 4, I of course have. So Infinite Warfare is my number 4 pick, and honestly, this hurts to have on this list. Now, I am a huge fan of Infinite Warfare. I personally think it's one of the best Call of Duties. But at the same time, this game was riddled with controversy. So, obviously, by 2016, fans were tired of the futuristic warfare. At this point, we already had Black Ops 2 flirting with advanced weaponry. Then we had Advanced Warfare pretty much kind of going headfirst into that. Black Ops 3 continued with that, and Infinite Warfare took everything kind of up to 11. The game was set in space, at least for the most part. And, it's safe to say not everyone liked the new gameplay changes. While Infinite Warfare is a decent game, it is safe to say it's not for everyone. Not to mention, there was the handling of the Modern Warfare remaster, because certain editions of Infinite Warfare would only have the remaster. Now, while the remaster was released separately, it wasn't that way at first, and you had to pay extra just to play the remaster, and to pour an entire can of salt in that wound. The Modern Warfare remaster was not included with all the maps. In fact, you had to pay extra for all the maps. You actually still do, which honestly is kind of one of the scummiest things Activision has ever done. But that's not really surprising because it's Activision. So yeah, this pretty much ticked off the entire fan base, or at least a large portion of it, and Infinite Warfare became one of the most controversial entries within the series. Of course, at number 3, we of course have Black Ops 6 and AI usage. Now, just let me say, this is alleged. Nothing has been proven, but Black Ops 6 has been accused of using AI in quite a few parts of the game. It's also kind of screwed over some voice actors, which is a really scummy thing considering that, like, literally these games make millions per year and Microsoft blew 70 billion on this franchise. But then again, I guess we can't criticize Activision. So of course, absolutely, other than that, Black Ops 6 kind of felt like a misleading title. The game kind of felt like it was going to take place primarily about the Gulf War. Only a few missions really cover the Gulf War. The rest of it is just some really... Honestly, I can't even say the meanest stuff I can think of, but frankly, safe to say, Black Ops 6 is one of the most disappointing games, and quite a few people, including myself, feel like the trailers somewhat lied. It's not the truth that lied, it's just Activision and the developers that lied. Of course, at number 2, we of course are staying in Black Ops, which this was not intentional. We of course have the Call of Duty Cold War launch. So of course, Call of Duty Cold War launched in 2020 for the PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Series XS. Safe to say it had one of the roughest launches in Call of Duty in gaming history. Now, sure, Cyberpunk came out a year later and told them to hold my beer while they fuck up even worse than they did. Same thing with the GTA Definitive Edition. Jokes aside, yeah, Cold War was a massive failure at launch. Well, launch-wise. Game-wise, it was fun, but it really showed that Activision should have not released a Call of Duty game that year because, well, I mean, the world was in a pandemic and a lot of people were working at home, and last time I knew, game developers aren't really an essential service. But of course, this game got like 2 years in development, and the fact that it even got good after it is kind of surprising. But that's not to say that Activision should do this, because frankly, they shouldn't. They really should have just let the developers take some time off, but Activision treating the developers right is kind of a fever dream. So, of course, at number 1, we of course have Modern Warfare and Erasing History. Modern Warfare was released in 2019, and, well, wow, they really got themselves into quite a bit of controversy. Now, while Modern Warfare did fix quite a few things in the series, such as getting rid of loot boxes and making the multiplayer pretty fun, there was tabloid journalism against it, as some journalists accused Modern Warfare of glorifying violence against civilians, despite the game punishes you if you harm innocent people, and the civilians in question that the game journalists were talking about point guns at you. Not to mention, Modern Warfare rewrites a specific part in history. So the Highway of Death is in fact a real thing. This was attacked during the Gulf War, well, the first one, by US forces, and they bombed retreating forces, and the game rewrites it so it's the Russians that bombed Middle Eastern forces. And that's not entirely what happened. And so the game got some backlash for rewriting history and using it to make the Russians the bad guys, which wouldn't really be the first time that Call of Duty has been accused of, well, of racism or anything like that. But of course, these were a few specific controversies. I, of course, plan to do a part 2 to this eventually, and I plan to do more game controversies in the future. So until then, goodbye, and thank you all for watching. Have a nice night.